There are ships in the desert. Not small boats, not ancient wrecks, fishing ships. They were built for water, but today they sit in sand. Their hulls are rusted, their decks are empty. The wind moves through them like they were abandoned after a war. But this was not a battlefield. This was once the Aral Sea, one of the largest inland bodies of water on Earth. People fished here. Ships crossed here. Towns lived because this water existed. Then, the water started disappearing. Not by accident, by design. This is the story of a sea that became a desert, and the decision that left ships waiting for water that never came back. To understand what was lost, you have to see what was here before the sand. For a long time, the Aral Sea was not a mystery. It was life. It sat between what is now Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. It was fed by two great rivers, the Amu Darya and the Sir Darya. Those rivers carried water across Central Asia.
Good catch today.
Through dry land, through farms, through villages, through cities, and at the end of their journey, they reached the Aral Sea. That water made everything possible. Fishing towns grew along the shore. Ports opened. Boats went out in the morning and came back heavy with fish. Factories processed the catch. Families worked there. Children grew up beside docks, nets, engines, and the smell of the sea. One of those places was Moynaq, a town built around water. Its life came from the sea. Fishing boats, processing plants, workers, families, a shoreline that seemed permanent. Then, slowly, Moynaq became one of the strangest places on Earth. A port without a sea. To the people who lived there, the Aral Sea was not a shape on a map. It was home.
The sea was here.
The plan did not begin with ships in the desert. It began with cotton. Far away from the shoreline, another future was being drawn. In the Soviet system, cotton was not just a crop. It was proof that land, water, and people could be forced into a plan.
Run the canal through here. That will feed the fields. Moscow wants more this year.
The Soviet Union wanted cotton.
Then we'll need more water.
Cotton needed land. But more than anything else, cotton needed water. And Central Asia had something the planners wanted: rivers. On paper, it looked simple. Take water from the rivers, send it through canals, turn dry land into farmland.
They opened it early today. Good. The back rows were dry.
Grow cotton on a massive scale. To the people drawing the maps, this looked like progress. But every canal had a cost. Every field needed water from somewhere. And the place losing that water was the Aral Sea. At first, nothing looked like the end. The sea was too large to seem fragile. A body of water that size does not vanish in a day. The shoreline still looked permanent. But the rivers were carrying less water. More of it was being pulled away before it could reach the sea. The disaster began quietly. A little less water, a little more salt, a little more distance between the town and the shore.
We used to tie up right there. Now we drive to them.
Then, the sea started to move. Not like a wave, like a retreat. The waterline pulled away from the docks. At first, people could still reach the boats. Then, the walk became longer. Then, trucks were needed. Then, the distance became too much. Ports that had been built beside the sea were no longer beside anything. The docks remained, the boats sat still, but the water was gone. That is how a town begins to die. Not in one moment, one job at a time. The fish disappeared, the boats stopped moving, the factories closed, families left, and streets that once led to the sea began leading into dust. Some ships sank into mud, then the mud dried, then the ground became sand. The same vessels that once crossed open water became monuments to a decision no one nearby had made. There was no single explosion, no final wave, no one moment where everything ended, just a system that kept taking water year after year until the sea could not survive. They knew exactly what the water could do. They just chose the cotton fields over the sea. But when the sea disappeared, it did not leave clean land behind.
No boats came in today. No boats left.
It left salt, it left chemicals, it left dust. The dry seabed held traces of decades of agriculture, and when the wind came, it lifted that dust into the air. The disaster did not stay where the shoreline had been. It moved. It crossed villages, it entered homes, it touched crops, animals, water supplies, and people. The sea was gone, but the damage kept traveling. A vanished sea became a desert, and the desert began to speak in dust. By now, the world could see the damage from above. Satellite images showed what words could not. A huge blue shape breaking apart, water splitting into separate pieces, shorelines collapsing inward, the sea becoming smaller. Eventually, large parts of it were no longer sea at all. They were desert. The old maps were wrong. The old memories were painful. The old ships were still there, but they looked like they belonged to another planet. And in a way, they did, because the world around them had been remade. But the story did not end in only one way. In the north, people tried to save what remained.
Water's up again.
Enough to take her out.
A dam helped hold water in the North Aral Sea. In some places, water levels improved. Fish returned. Some communities saw signs of life again. It was not a full resurrection. It did not bring back the old sea, but it proved something important. The larger tragedy remained. The South Aral Sea never truly came back. The old ports stayed where the water left them. The ships stayed where they stopped. And that is the real lesson of the Aral Sea. It was not only an environmental disaster, it was a human decision. One river at a time, one canal at a time, one choice at a time. Today, the ships are still there, not as monuments to nature, but as evidence. Evidence that even something as vast as a sea can disappear, and that sometimes the quietest decisions leave the deepest scars.
The Aral Sea did not vanish because the world forgot it. It vanished because water was taken, measured, redirected, and spent. And when the sea was gone, the evidence remained. In the silence, in the ships that still wait for water. Water that never came back.